Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heroes of the Vale. I am joined by our amazing cast. TJ Storm playing Keen Deapreth, Hope LaVelle playing Penelope Half-Pint, Adam Bradford playing Briv Steelmarrow, Lauren Urban playing Orkira Eldritch, and Jen Kretchmer playing Alyndra Sarrbarand. Previously on Heroes of the Vale, lots of people were unconscious. So we are currently in the Shadowfell. After using a device known as the Apparatus, which some of you may know from first edition D&D in Ravenloft, our heroes decided to add things to themselves or remove things from themselves that they didn't like from other timelines, from other realities. And having put all of themselves in this apparatus, including Keen Deapreth, even though he was unconscious, everyone was able to remember every timeline they have ever existed in at once and had the sum total of that knowledge. Some, like Penelope Half-Pint, separated something evil out of herself in the form of a twisted version of herself, a fiendish-looking warlock version of Penelope Half-Pint. For Orkira Eldritch, she removed an intellect devourer's presence from her mind, and that was left behind as well. And others changed, like Briv Steelmarrow is now a paladin. So currently, the Heroes of the Vale have been traversing after being guided with a celestial, hunting two mind flayers. They, in the Shadowfell, went from the Shadowfell version of Brimstone all the way to the Shadowfell version of Verdeneth, also known as Kraken's Fall. And now you see a vast canyon where in your reality, in the prime material plane, there was once an ocean, but in the Shadowfell, there is a canyon. And below, deep down inside that canyon, is some sort of ancient mind flayer structure. And at this very moment, there was a swirling of leaves and of fire, and Keen Deapreth appears through a dark portal in front of all of you.
A dark portal?
Fresh scars on his face and arms.
Hey, welcome back.
Keen, you didn't get sucked up by the apparatus and it... Keen?
We are in the Shadowfell, are we not? This is not a good place.
Keen, are you okay?
Yes, we have established that when we were...
I am well. The Eternal Council has sent me on errands, and they are not good things. But I live, and I am here with you, and that is a good thing. Perhaps together we can bring some semblance of light to this place, or at least be done with it quickly.
Keen, look outside where the water, it should be, but there's a castle.
What sort of building is that? It is peculiar looking.
We don't know. We think potentially it's the place we need to go. But if we can find the thing we were looking for in this reality, we might be able to find it in another.
Very well. I will follow until I understand where we stand.
Are you okay? Do you need healing or something?
No. These wounds are well healed. The Eternal Court has seen to that. But what I have seen has left me in my winter. So, this place does nothing to brighten my spirits. I will be well. Winter is here. Let us walk through this shadowy place.
Orkira, what should we do? Do we need to go out there?
I thought if we get there, and then we figure out how to get back to our plane, that'll be where the ship is on our plane, right? That's what we figured out? Yeah. I don't know if we know how to get back to our plane, though, so we might just end up over there and... Yeah? How far away is it? How far is it going to take us? How long is it going to take us to get to the castle?
It's going to take the better part of a day. This is something the size of the Grand Canyon.
Do we want to
It
start?
is below
and then-
us.
Yes, this is literally a canyon. I'm not talking about the castle. I am talking about the canyon that is below you, where the ocean is normally in the prime material plane. There is a deep, fissure, a canyon. That you can
And the
go down.
castle is on the same level as us on the other side of the canyon?
No, it's at the very bottom.
Ugh. It is at the bottom of a dark place in a dark place.
Yeah, it's kind of the story of our lives, right? But this was a better option than going back to our plane and then doing that same trip with water.
I cannot argue with that.
While
we
we're discussing
begin?
this, I am casting water breathing on Keen as a ritual the same way I already had on everyone else
Okay.
previously.
Briv,
Thank you.
Look,
are you okay, Briv? You're also being extremely quiet. Really, really
Ah,
He moves
Someone
his
cast
lips.
silence on him.
quiet. Someone cast silence on him.
so
Briv
very quiet.
Moves his lips, but no sound comes out.
dispel magic on Briv.
I was under some sort of spell. I am stealing my resolve for what I know is the battle ahead.
Walton, the Chewinga, crawls out of Penelope Halfpint's bag, giggling to himself. Just, it's funny. I made him quiet.
I didn't know you knew magic, Walton. That's so convenient.
I think so too. In fact, I did not even know I knew that spell until just now.
Thou shalt take heed to not do that at an important time, Walton, or I shall have my friend Flo turn thee into something that thou wouldst not like.
Stop threatening one another.
Yeah, I mean, we all changed.
So,
We're all a little different after coming out of that apparatus thing. I guess Walton can Flo also turn people into other things? Is that a new thing?
Thou wouldst have to ask her.
only future testing will tell.
That's ominous.
Or exciting, I don't know. Depends on what she's gonna turn us into, I guess. So if it's gonna take a while to get there, we could get started and then maybe stop along the way and rest. It's kind of been a long day, and I don't know if I want to get there at the end of today.
Yeah, we could find shelter down below.
We always have shelter.
Is there
Sure.
a sun, or is it always the same time of day?
You never quite see the sun. Yeah, it feels like it's always kind of the same time of day, but there is a nightfall and there is a daytime, but
This place is broken. Let's move before it gets darker.
The last time we saw Keen was when he was getting dragged off by the werewolves. Is that correct?
No.
No,
No, there's one between. Correct.
yeah, he was unconscious, and I stuck him and Briv in the
Right.
in the apparatus,
That's
and
right.
then
That's right.
Keen,
then
do
he
you
was gone.
usually turn into a tree when you go back to the Feywild?
A tree?
Yeah.
So
Is that
there
a
was
normal
mirror that-
question?
Listen, this
I
is
think it's
our
a very
lives.
valid
When's the last
question.
time you think I've asked a normal question? Now, you disappeared after we were all in the apparatus, and you were just a bunch of leaves and twigs, like in the shape of a person.
So Keen, the way that the apparatus worked is it showed us different versions of ourselves in different timelines, different realities, different existences. For example, we saw, Saranthus or Neverember was extracted from Penelope, and Briv had a number of different versions. Orkira had a number of different versions. I had a few different versions of myself. And you turned into a pile of leaves.
Please, can we go back? I wish to hear about Briv's versions. What did you see?
I would rather not discuss frivolous things as we have work to do.
We can
Penelope.
discuss on the way. Yes.
Yes, please. Shh. We go.
Yes. Okay. What
I
were we
can
talking
hear
about?
thee.
What was
He
I
can do
saying?
magic now.
Yes, he glows. He glows so bright.
Perhaps I always glowed on the
Oh,
inside.
you definitely always glowed. We should walk.
We can walk and talk.
About
And then
another
everybody
topic,
gets quiet.
I hope.
Let's
Also,
go.
we made a new friend.
Where did
She's
she
a,
go?
she's a diva. She flew off, I assume.
Yes, she flew off.
She said that she was our friend and she would help us through all this. I guess she had something more important to do.
Be
Maybe she's
wary
helping
of
us.
making friends in the Shadowfell. Very little good comes out of this place.
She's not from
This is
here.
true. But she was really good. Maybe she just needs to go help us someplace else.
In fact, we made two friends, one of whom was briefly named Friend. So
Yes, he was a mind flayer. But
Yes.
he wasn't a
No,
mind
he
flayer. He was
wasn't.
actually a halfling, and he was very cute. And then he ran off.
Penelope's very sad about that one.
We're very good at making friends who then run away at at an opportune moment.
Yeah, we should probably not read into that at all.
No. No.
Oh, you are having to go down a very treacherous path that leads down the canyon. So I do need everyone to make dexterity saving throws, dexterity checks. Rather.
I will cast spider climb on myself.
Oh wow.
You-
Okay.
Do you wish
I can
acrobatics?
Yes,
I
plus
mean,
acrobatics
athletics.
is fine.
May
I
I
would
use
like-
guidance?
Go ahead.
May I use guidance?
Yeah.
I would like to fly and not have to do that check.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, if I'm gonna be
For
blunt
whatever
about it,
reason.
yes.
Yeah.
I think Orkira slips once and is like, nope, okay.
No. Yeah.
I got an 18.
Okay.
I use my great skill at athletics to come up with an 8.
oh no.
I'd like to be prepared to grab Keen before he takes a tumble.
All right. Penelope Halfline's
17.
fine. How's Alyndra?
17.
Okay. And Orkira is flying. Keen, you just having traversed from the Feywild into the Shadowfell, you still feel a little bit dizzy, maybe even a tiny bit nauseous, but you are off your bearings, whether the gravity here is different or just the ground seems less firm. You trip and start slipping down the cliff immediately.
Oh, nope. I'll go after him.
Okay. Go ahead
Grab
and
him.
grab him. You do so fine. He doesn't slip away, but it's a long drop.
It's a long drop. I don't know if you want to make it that way.
I thank you. I am not paying attention as I should. I do hate this place.
Yeah. This place kind of sucks. I'm just paying you back for before, and I'll lift him up and carry him back up to everybody.
Okay.
Yes, take me back up. Yay.
You have to make this climb on your own, King. Come on.
I
You
thought
won't
we were
learn
sticking
anything if
together,
you
but
don't.
listen, do you want to make this climb alone or you want to make this climb with other people?
The winter's so moody.
Emo Eladrin.
I am in my
Yes.
emo.
Never a good time.
I like you better when you're on fire. But that's just me.
Keen is in
I
his
do-
pure phase. Yep.
I do look for the smallest bit of light by listening to the whispering stories of Briv's other selves from Penelope Halfpint.
Very good. After several hours go by, you do find like a slightly larger outcropping of rock. If anyone wants to try to get a long rest, they may. If they want to make
I would-
camp, it is up to you.
Cast Alyndra's accommodating abode, so no one can listen in on us. And
What does Alyndra's accommodating abode look like compared
I feel
to
like
a
I'm
tiny hut?
picturing
it's
a
a
library.
tiny hut, but it disguises itself a little bit more.
Okay.
And it's got a few extra protections that Abram had taught me in terms of not letting people get information out of it or teleport into it without permission.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a
does
little
it
bit
smell like?
bit more secure.
Wait, what's it smell like?
And it's a one bedroom.
It smells like clove and green growing wood and fire, but not the burning, not a smoke of fire, like the clean smell of fire.
Okay. Everyone gets a long rest. What do you
My
do?
lady
anything?
Sarrbarand,
While we
if
are
I have
in
never
there-
thanked thee, I do so now for providing these accommodations. And Briv just
Wow.
slightly bows. And then
And this is why I wanted to have a discussion, because that's not normal.
I mean, it's
I
good,
like it.
but it's not normal.
I do too, but
You know what? You know what it is? It's just the apparatus. It
Very
just took out all that was bad, like it did for me.
And he has not spit on anything in half a day.
Well, don't remind
This
him.
is good.
I agree.
I
This is very strange
am-
behavior.
very confused.
Right?
I do not understand the references to spit. I have never spit upon anything but my foes.
But
Did we
Briv-
make a mistake by putting Briv in there when he was unconscious?
I shall show thee that 'twas no mistake. I shall be a steady hand for you in the coming conflict.
I can no longer stay in the winter. I am now in autumn. I am with my family, and my family is crazy. He is awesome.
Yay!
Briv, do you remember? This is all right. More weird questions. Do you remember what you were like before you went into the apparatus?
I remember several versions of myself, many of which lacked as much experience. In my younger days, I was more rambunctious, we could say. But we have not time for that at this point. The world is ending, and we are what
we
will
have 8
stop it.
hours.
I like the way he speaketh now. I shall too speaketh so.
King,
No.
Me
Yes?
too.
thine spirit is infectious, and so I shall not take offense
Keen,
to thine obviously
There are two
intended
of them.
slights.
Keen, you are infectious. he
There
said
are
so. Thine is infected.
I
I like this
huggeth
infection.
Briv.
Oh. Wow, he takes the hug. What? This is so weird.
This is very awkward.
So,
I want to be happy. Just worried.
all seriousness,
This is like we're watching a bear hug a sapling.
I like thine comparison. I shall forgive thee for the silence thou didst bestow upon me earlier.
Wait, I am the bear, right? Me.
Walton, you don't need to answer that. It's better
If
if
thou
you
art a
don't.
bear, I am a whale.
You will always be my bear king.
Wow, you all changed a lot more than I did. This is amazing.
Are we to take our rest now? We have much ahead of us.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
What
feel like-
troubles thee, Lady Sarrbarand?
Lady. He said lady.
For one that.
Is she not a lady?
Absolutely.
Keen's funny now. I
Here's-
like it.
Here's the thing. We're all dancing around. You are way different, but it's pretty nice.
Then what
We
art
like it a
thou
lot.
going to complain about?
We're not. I think, but that's
All
the reactions you're seeing, I think, are all of us just learning
We're just
who
cautious.
you are now.
But there's something more, which is we're all different, which means none of us know who we are, which means it's a perfect time for anyone who wanted to insert themselves into our group for information, to
I
exploit
can
Oh,
alert thee
distrust.
to the presence of any evil in our midst.
Actually,
Briv, whom do you serve?
I serve myself and the people of this realm.
I've never.
I have never
Paladin.
heard of a paladin of the self.
I have my oath, I have my tenets. I shall protect the weak. I shall free the oppressed. I shall perform mighty deeds, and they shall be observed. And one day, I might be as one whom people serve.
And there you have it.
No.
Does that sound familiar, Penelope?
It sounds familiar. Oh, insight
What
check.
sounds
Insight check.
familiar about this? What in my words causes thee anxiety?
That's exactly what Saranthus said to us in the Golden Temple.
I can assure thee I am not affiliated with a deity that would oppress others.
She didn't think she was.
You just said that
oppressing,
you
she
wanted
thought-
others to serve you.
I am saying that I one day shall touch the divine. We all have this within us, and I am on a path to accomplish this. My deeds will be sung about for centuries after I leave this mortal realm.
I mean, to be honest, this sounds like Briv, but if everyone's worried, not just about Briv, but about any of us, I could cast Zone of Truth.
I
feel
willingly submit to thine spell.
I feel a little
If we
bad
have-
doing it to my friends, but I mean, if everyone's okay,
If we have all
With it.
changed, then only the truth will make sure.
Zone of truth or dare. This sounds entertaining. Please.
I don't have that spell. That's a higher level spell. I'm still working on that.
That would be such a cool
I mean, if we're all so no truth or dare, answer my question or spin the
100-year-old
bottle.
elves
Have to
sitting
do
around
something, I agree.
everywhere.
I'm not going to cast it unless everybody's okay with it. But if everyone's okay with it and we think it's going to help,
As I
Yeah,
said,
we
I
have-
willingly submit.
We don't want to have any. We don't want to worry about not trusting anybody, and this might be the best way to make sure that we can still trust each other. Not to say I don't trust you guys.
Now, I feel like this isn't lack of trust of each other. This is lack of trust that we are who we say we are. So, okay, I'll cast Zone of Truth. And it's pretty much the whole hut will be in the circle. And so if you choose to fail, you can just choose to fail. If you succeed against the saving throw, I will know. And I'll include myself in it.
I choose to
Okay.
fail.
I choose to fail.
As do I.
I choose to test it because this sounds wonderful. My name is Briv Steelmarrow, and I am a god.
Well, if you've chosen to fail, you actually can't say any of that.
Yeah.
I did not choose
You're-
to fail. I choose to test it.
Oh, then you
After
need to make a
all-
wisdom saving
Yeah,
throw.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Or I'm sorry, not a wisdom, a charisma saving throw DC 15.
If he's within 10 feet of me, he gets a +4 on that saving throw.
A grand total of 10.
So you fail. So to remind everybody, you're not compelled to tell the truth. You're not compelled to speak, but you can't speak a deliberate lie. Also,
name is-
I know.
And I am warrior. Eladrin.
I just want to bounce him like Sugar Ray Leonard.
Keen, you're adorable when you try to lie.
What about the others?
I am 8 feet tall. I am a Jotun. I have come from the world of Asgard, and I have come to destroy all of our enemies in this beautiful, shiny place we know as the Shadow Happy.
Okay, so wait. Did
Is
Walton
Walton telling the truth?
succeed, or is he telling what he thinks is the truth?
I fear that Walton was too
I don't
close
know.
to
What
my
did he roll?
divine radiance.
Who's rolling
I don't
for
know.
him? I'll
Okay.
roll for him.
I rolled
Because
for
I'll
him.
believe either way.
Oh, you did? Oh, because
Yeah.
I just got a crit fail. Okay.
Oh god, things got very complicated very quickly.
Okay, so Walton succeeded.
Yes.
Walton resisted.
Wow.
He's
Walton's 8 feet tall. Then how tall?
No,
am
no, no.
I? Wait.
no
Yeah,
Walton.
it is all a matter of perspective. Sometimes, like when something, if you angle things the right way.
I've always wanted to be really big. I never knew I was big all along. This is so.
In my heart, you've always been 12 feet tall, Penelope. But also, Walton succeeded, and so he can lie all over the place.
Oh,
How about Flo?
that makes more sense.
How rude. Take away all of my fun.
Listen, Walton, I'd let you have your fun, but we're trying to establish some trust here, so I think the truth is probably for the best.
Keen started it.
Flo floats out from around Briv, and you always wonder where she's coming from.
Yes.
Flo floats out
That's fair.
and just goes, "Oh, look, cheese." Yep.
I must know
Oh.
if she is lying.
I'm going back to bed.
Did she succeed or did she fail?
She fell.
She's telling
She
the
does
truth.
like cheese.
Well, now I know she
That's
Jesus
my
Christ.
girl.
So, Walton is the only one who potentially could be lying here, yes?
No.
No, stop confusing us.
I mean,
There's no way that could be lying right now.
I feel like it's worth it for me to say I know because of the spell, but you'll kind of have to trust me.
Mm.
But you're in the zone as well, no? It doesn't affect you?
Actually, I don't know if it does or doesn't, but what's more important is Orkira will say, well, it can, but I'm the only one who knows for sure whether it succeeded or failed, so I'm not exactly sure how to prove myself to you.
Orkira, I'll say it 1,000,000 times. I will always trust you.
It's really nice to hear. It's
I got
probably a
away.
bad idea.
Since when
Well,
do I have
yeah.
good ideas?
Yeah, me too.
Orkira,
Hi.
you wrote me a
Oh.
letter.
I did. I wrote you a bunch.
Do you remember what you told me that I could, what you told me that you put in writing that I could cite?
Well, I feel a little bad saying that now because Briv has changed. I don't know. I mean,
This
maybe.
is how we know that it's true.
Okay. Yeah.
I
You're
feel as
way
though
smarter
this
than.
shall be offensive.
No, that's the truth. Yeah, you're way smarter than Briv.
It's
Who would that be? Lady Sarrbarand.
Yes.
Oh, I am in
It's
complete
like
agreement
writing.
that she has far more intelligence than I.
No, this was just a test.
I would
for-
argue that I am far
Orkira.
more of a people person, however.
Now, especially. Okay.
Probably true.
I think I kind of like the old Briv. I don't know.
Keen?
This is too nice.
Walton is obviously lying.
So I do like this new Briv, and
Is it opposite?
I do
day?
too.
No one can tell.
I mean,
Who can
I liked
say?
you before, but I like you even more now.
I suppose. Oh, no, thou art not affected by the spell. So I
Oh,
shall have to
yes.
take thee on thine word.
she could be lying about you. Who can say?
Well, I can, but then you'd still have to trust me.
Yeah.
I choose to trust thee, Orkira.
I trust
Well,
you
too.
as well.
do you have any questions? I mean, I'll go first. If it
Okay.
helps.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to talk about?
How do you feel? Do you
feel
feel
pretty
like
good.
there's something missing inside of you since you had what was it, the elder brain in you?
Yeah. Well, so that. Oh yeah, that's why we were doing this. I completely forgot. No, so that wasn't the only thing I removed. That was the important thing. That was the big thing. I did get rid of one other thing. Nothing in my past, because I had that wish, and if anything, that wish taught me I really shouldn't change the past at all, that I'm not really good at it, and it just causes lots of problems. So I didn't change anything about my past, but I changed something about what's in my future. I'm not turning into a dragon anymore.
Does this mean that all the other Dragonborns are not turning into dragons either?
Were they? I thought,
Oh, I thought they were.
I don't know. I thought it was
can
just,
recall that there
I
was some
thought
sort
it
of epidemic happening.
well, that was other things. No, this is the thing so the Cybriacs poked me, and but
Mhm.
no, I decided from now on, I just want to be I'm still a weird looking Dragonborn, but at least right now I'm a Dragonborn again, and I know what I am. I'm not going to change into something that everybody's going to be afraid of.
I'm happy for you that you were able to make the choice for yourself.
It was really kind of nice. I think it's the first time. I'm sure it won't last. I'm sure we'll come along something else, and we'll run into some other Cybriacs or a god or something. And,
Worse, probably.
yeah.
But we'll be ready.
But at least for the moment,
One
Are
problem
you
at a time.
sure that-
right? Yeah. But now I got one less problem. It's great.
Are you sure that the Illithid are out of your head?
I mean, there was that intellect devour that was in the other container, so I took that as a really good sign.
Have you
I'm-
noticed anything different in your mind?
I don't think so, but it's been a very complex couple hours, so I don't know.
It's true.
I didn't even know it was there, so I'm probably the wrong person to ask.
Fair enough. Where did you go? 6 years.
I thought I said I was in a bag. With Harold and Biblio and yeah. Healing. Running. Doing more healing.
I shall have to say that certainly sounds made up.
It kind of
Okay,
does.
it's Briv.
I mean, biblio means book, so she was in a bag with a book, which would make sense. Because if one
Yeah.
object can
She
become a
wasn't in a book
world,
with a
another
bag?
can. And if anything can become a world, a book can become a world. So if a book is in a bag,
Yeah, it was a mimic that was pretending to be a book. It was someone's pet.
So shall I get this straight?
If you can,
None
I'd
of
be
the
impressed because I
are-
can't.
None of thee are put aback by the fact that our Dragonborn companion has spent 6 years in a bag that happens to also be a world, and thou art surprised that I could emerge from the apparatus a changed man?
Well, I mean, we've all been in the bag. You guys remember it now, don't you?
Briv, this is a side of you that is so different from the essence of anything we had seen from you.
We've seen bag worlds, but we haven't seen a Briv like you yet. Don't get us wrong,
I
we're
think-
very excited.
That thou shouldst have more faith in people. Perhaps give them the benefit of the doubt.
You're right.
That's nearly gotten us killed several times.
But it's also gotten us
Once or
friends
twice
like
it's nearly destroyed the world.
I
Yeah.
cannot lie right now, so I will keep my mouth shut. He is freaking me out.
You know what, Briv? You're right. You're our friend, and we're so excited that you have changed for the better. I mean, not the better, not to say that you weren't good before, but now it's Alton,
Briv?
hold your tongue.
Are you happier this way?
I have never been unhappy.
Well, then that's all that matters.
Right?
Well, we will work on that.
Alyndra, how did you change?
Yes. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure I did, honestly. I believe that we are the sum of our experiences. And to alter who I have been in this reality or another, to change my past or my essence, is losing the knowledge and the experience I've accrued. The things that all of the me's have been through have been painful and thrilling and joyous and terrifying, but they're what make me me, and that knowledge informs every decision I make. So, I am me.
But you also
Okay.
came back with a gift.
That was from another me. It was a gift from my father.
Okay, is everyone finished with their long rest? Are there more questions people want to ask in the zone of truth?
We have 7 minutes and 37 seconds. I don't know how long we have.
Briv, what did you return with in your pockets?
Oh.
What has it got?
I check my pockets, and I am not aware, unless the dungeon master has something to say here, I'm not aware of any thing out of the ordinary except for some dust and lint and then my normal gear that I have on me.
That is true. You are the previous version of Briv is missing a number of magical items that had existed before on his person, so those are no longer there.
You do, however, see I have this new sword that is, you can just tell easily by looking at it that it emanates magic. It's almost like it looks like it shifts the air around it just a little bit in its immediate vicinity of the blade.
Can I identify it at all?
If I see her taking notice, I just simply hand it to her pommel first.
That's usually
Feel free
Does it
to
have
examine.
Does it have any symbology carved into it? Does the craftsmanship
It has a
seem
lion.
seem
It has
to
a
be-
lion head swallowing the blade on the hilt.
Just from a cursory glance, it almost seems like there is some kind of divine power to the sword itself, though not necessarily extremely powerful. Seems like a magical item that can either be upgraded or grow in power in time. It is of a very strange and unique design that you have not seen
I call
before.
it steadfast, and it has served me well.
Briv, where'd you get your swords?
I came upon them as a sort of family heirloom that had to be recovered. But I cleared out a nest of villainous creatures to recover it and restore it. I have some skill at the smith.
Briv, are you married?
I no longer am married. I once was.
Who married you? I mean, who, to whom were you married?
To the love of my life, Keen. And I would rather not, even though we are sharing our truth, speak of what became of her. It is too much for me to bear.
We did
You see
get
that Briv
story
actually
from you,
starts.
right?
You see the little, like a little bit of like watery eyes, and then you could swear for just a moment that, like, instead of blushing, it looks for just like a moment that his cheeks become a little more blue and a little more metallic.
I turn away. This is not the way to see a warrior cry. But I believe him.
I have no shame in shedding tears over a love lost. And I will never.
Yeah, this is a zone of truth. This isn't a zone of forcing the truth. So if you don't want to talk about
absolutely
anything,
not.
that's fine. Keen. So, what have you been up to? What's changed about you?
Changed? Everything about the Eladrin changed. We are in a constant state of flux. That is the nature of our people. I am in constant contact with the Eternal Court, which constantly requires me to do this and that, and I am on always call to them. That is why I must always leave and return to you. I am back, no worse for wear, and I show the scars and some of the battle damage from the last couple of missions. I will tell you at length some of the stories if you wish, but they are not important immediately, because they have nothing to do with our current state in this hellish place.
And you said you are currently on a mission for them. What sort of
I
mission?
just finished a mission. It was one of battle, and I had to make a stop at the Storm Herald. It requires retrofitting. The people there continue to live there, and they are doing well.
Wait, what?
What?
Wait.
Just-
Storm Herald wasn't destroyed in Avernus?
You remember incorrectly. It went
Well-
to another place, and that other place was the Feywild. My weapon master has been taking care of it and training the people well. They are well-trained warriors now, trained by the best of the Eladrin.
Wait.
Every person on Storm Herald can wield a weapon well, and furthermore, wield the Storm Herald itself. It is waiting, and they are all well and healthy.
All right, so we've found one major difference. I don't know about everybody else. The last thing I remember is Storm Herald, the actual building, structure, city thing, being destroyed, and your weapons master taking everybody to the Feywild, but not the thing, not the city.
Well,
There
DM
are-
will clarify one thing. Storm Herald was destroyed in Avernus, but he's not lying.
Well, he can't. So,
Yeah. It's true.
okay. Do we now remember both of those?
No,
No.
more accurately, what exists in one world exists in another.
Oh.
So
And I will remind you,
Multiple
as a warning
timelines.
as well, that what exists on the Prime often exists in the Fey, and what exists in the Fey exists here. So keep your eyes open.
Thou art saying that Storm Herald exists here in
I
the
do
Shadow
not know. I do not like spending time here. I do not even like this place, but it is usually the case. This is where an ocean should be. The space for it exists, but the water is different. No telling
Keen-
what dare live on Storm Herald.
Keen, a few years in the Feywild, even with you, created changes in Penelope. And Penelope is brave and strong and had faced terrors. You're telling me an entire city of unprepared civilians,
Have been affected by the Feywild.
but are well.
Yes. Or they stayed close to the Feywild, to the Storm Herald. They are
That's
changed.
good to know. I was kind of worried about what had happened to everybody.
You should be more worried about the version that is here.
The
If-
Storm Herald?
If it exists, and I do not know that it does, but if it does, no telling what is there.
How?
We know what's likely there because we saw it in the other world. That was leaking through, was the army of the shadow people.
I
We
do
met
not
when
like
we
this
all
place,
first
so I do
met.
not begin to hope or understand it. It creates dark things, baleful things, sorrowful things.
Keen, you are a creature of the seasons. Is it not possible that the Shadowfell is just the winter season of the Feywild?
Oh no. This place is an eternal winter. One that you cannot escape from if you are from this place. It is cold and without light. It is the negative to what is positive in the Feywild. Look for yourself.
Isn't that exactly what I just said?
No, the winter is a changing state. This place is eternal darkness.
How would eternal light be any different?
I have not gone to that place. I hear it is bright. The Feywild is not eternal light. It is eternal change and magic and fey, all that is beautiful in the world. I would invite you to come back with me so I can show you the great things of the Feywild.
Would it be fair to say that the Feywild is eternal vibrance, Keen?
This is closer to the point. Not light, but nature. Yes. A beautiful place to grow up, to live, to flourish, to hunt. Unlike this place, which, for lack of a better word, sucks.
I would love to take you up on that offer once we're done saving the world again. Penelope, we got a couple moments left. Anything you want to say in the zone of truth?
You made a choice, Penelope, to lose part of yourself, and I respect that choice.
You know, I didn't.
How are you with that?
I didn't really mean to make it. I think it was more of a subconscious thing. I was afraid of that person I'd become. You know, with you guys, I try to be the light, you know, in the darkness that you guys always seem to take us to, and I just felt there was a darkness growing inside of me because of how I changed, and I didn't really want to face the fact that I had become dark. And so I think in my subconscious, I just asked for it to leave. And I think I regret it a little, because that was part of me. And all that suffering I did in Avernus, it seems like it was for nothing now. But I know that's not true. But I don't know. I think it was for the better, maybe.
Can thou remember the courage it took for thee to survive that long in Avernus?
I can remember that.
Then it is
Maybe.
still with thee.
Thanks, Briv.
Before the zone of truth dies, I would ask us all to answer the same question. Do any of us have dire plans or the will to harbor hurt or harm to any of us?
No, absolutely not.
No, never.
I seek only to save and to help the oppressed. No,
Well-
I harbor no ill will to anyone in this room, only our enemies.
Never directly, no.
Then
Never directly or indirectly?
We don't know. They exist. And
she's right. Well, it's settled then. We are a
need to
newer.
happen. And
What do you guys say?
I think we should finish our rest. We have much ahead of us.
Then the heroes of the Vale shall sleep.
Okay, everyone gets a long rest. Everyone sleeps and nothing eventful happens.
Take a long rest.
Who-
Confirm. Yes.
Yes.
Confirm.
It doesn't happen very often, so I celebrate it when it
doesn't.
does.
What does
That's
everyone
good.
do in the morning?
Cook. I cook a large meal for my family.
I'm sorry,
It
before
must
the
be
long
done.
rest, I disguise all of the I do all of the disguising on the rod as usual
Okay.
to protect it.
So Keen is cooking?
Yes, and not white meat.
Penelope plays patty cake with Walton.
As Penelope is doing so, Penelope gets hit by an Eldritch blast.
Wait, are we still in the hut?
Nope.
No, yeah, not gonna happen in the hut.
Not still in the hut. You take 6 points of force damage and are knocked 10 feet off of the cliff side. And you are now
Oh.
falling.
Nope, I'm going after her.
All right. You can go after her, but she's already moving.
That's
Oh
okay.
my
Um,
God.
I still move pretty fast.
First up is Alyndra.
I was okay.
Hit in the face with quad.
How far away is she?
She has already well, she's been pushed 10 feet off the cliff edge and she is currently falling.
Okay, I didn't get to finish preparing my spells, but Featherfall is what I would have done there if she was in range.
You can go ahead and cast Featherfall.
Okay. I cast Featherfall on her.
What just happened?
And next
Now
up
we're
is
down.
Keen.
I look to see where this blast came from.
You see a black-eyed version of a Penelope half pint laughing on the cliff edge, smiling as she's shooting eldritch blasts from her hand down at you on the cliff.
Oh my
She
God.
is on the same cliff as us? Or above us?
No, she's above. She's high above you.
Very well. I take the boiling pot of breakfast stew that I was making, and I face step behind her and pour it over her head. Little.
She is not within 30 feet. She's like easily about 60 feet away. Yeah.
I begin to run towards her.
Okay. You're going to have to run up the path.
Very well.
Our breakfast.
Really? Really, Orkira?
She attacked you. Don't give her breakfast.
You have changed.
Yes, I have. I'm still coming after you. I just still want breakfast afterwards.
I see Keen running towards her, and I'm going to call out, Keen, get her to me.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right. Next up is Penelope. What are you doing?
Does it look like Orkira's gonna catch me in time?
You
I'm
can't
feather falling,
tell.
so-
You are mainly
okay.
just in shock and flying backwards, and you can
I will-
see yourself high above on the cliff, smiling back at
Ah.
yourself.
I will play out that shock. I'm just gonna be
Okay.
falling.
Briv?
But we see this. She's falling slowly now.
Yeah, now she's falling slowly.
All of a sudden, you hear a piano and a guitar start.
Within reach at all of the side of the cliff?
No. She's not
Okay.
within reach. No, yeah.
How far away is she?
She really is like 9 feet away.
Okay. I'm just going to simply anchor myself on the side of the cliff and sling rope her way and see if I can get it close enough to her to grab.
Okay. You can go ahead and throw the rope out to her.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna make any check for that. She's moving very slowly. So I mean, you may have to do it a couple times.
I have lassoed several times while mounted. So I'm just going to throw the rope out there.
See Briv in a cowboy hat.
I don't really condone that. So next up is everyone got their turn. So
Did I actually go?
what do you tell me you did?
Well, I was
you
gonna
were
go
flying.
try
You
to
told me
catch
your action was to
Penelope.
fly after her.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know if that had happened yet or if I just rolled really crappy on
it
initiative.
happened. Sorry.
Oh,
That's all right.
so did she get to Penelope then?
No, she was heading towards her, and then you
Oh.
throw the rope. Yeah.
Okay. I just thought she hadn't acted yet. That's the reason I threw the rope.
No, 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 no.
I wasn't stealing your thunder there, Lauren.
That's fine.
Oh God, again. I'm gonna save anybody.
That's fine. It's not a competition.
Guys.
It's fine. As long as everyone gets saved.
Alyndra, you get hit by an Eldritch Blast. One streaks right past Briv. Same time, you take 2 points of force damage and you are knocked 10 feet off the cliff.
Do I get to do anything other than the reaction I took to cast Featherfall?
You have, well, that wasn't really a reaction as much as an action. You'll be able to take an action after that. But currently you are also falling off the cliff.
Okay.
Orkira, you're up.
Well, all right. Penelope is grabbing a rope, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And Penelope's
Alyndra's-
hair is even flowing as if she's actually submersed in water. That's the effect of Featherfall. So her big bushy red hair is just kind of just floating along with all of her leaves.
I mean, it looks super cool, but she can grab it. She's not past the rope. But I see
No.
Alyndra go flying.
Yeah, Alyndra's moving at a very different speed.
Yeah.
So-
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
I would like to alter my direction because I see Briv's got Penelope well in hand and go catch Alyndra.
Okay, go ahead and make me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay. It's a 16.
Okay, you do so. You're good. You grab her.
Catch. How much movement do I still have?
You've got a decent amount.
Okay.
Especially
Can we
'cause you're
get
flying.
up? Can we get up to evil Penelope?
You can if you want to. Yes, absolutely.
Alyndra, did you really want to go there?
Yep. Just get me close. Not
All right.
get me within 60 feet.
I mean, we'll be within 60 feet
That's all I
by the
need.
time she finishes saying that. So, but yeah, I will fly us
As
up
she's flying me, I'm rummaging in my bag for something.
Okay.
and I'll deposit both of us, or I'll deposit her far enough away from the edge and Penelope to not be too much in danger. So like 15 feet away from the edge, if I still
Okay.
have that movement. Since I've
Yeah.
seen this pushing
you have an
twice now.
obscene amount of flying speed. So
I do. Not as much
So-
walking, but a lot of flying. So I'll drop her off and then
Okay.
um,
Keen, you are up and you were going at your full run all the way up the cliff, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Will I reach her this round?
do you have any ranged attacks?
I do. I have a longbow if I have to summon it into my hand.
Okay. That's your best option right now to attack her right now.
Then I will begin doing that. But I will do it laterally. So as I run towards her, I run towards her left. If she is to avoid me, she will have to look left. I don't want her looking down at them. I want her looking at me.
Okay.
So I become the biggest threat possible. I will fire twice.
Yes.
Armor class 17 and 19.
Yeah, those both hit.
It's 10 points of damage total.
All right.
I do not
2
believe I can
arrows.
use Flame Blade on a missile weapon.
No. Okay. 2 arrows slice through both of her shoulders, just on the edge, and she seems almost completely immune to the pain of it.
Did it
And
cause her to bleed?
she did bleed. Penelope, what are you doing?
Coming out of the shock of what just happened as she'll grab the rope and like
Mhm.
kind of be yelling out, like, stop, don't hurt her. She doesn't mean to. She doesn't mean to. It can't be. And she's also like yelling, like, oh, how did
she get out? How did she get out of that thing? Briv, what's happening?
Find cover, Penelope. If thou art are not in the fight, then find cover.
Penelope, will it take her entire move action to get back on top of the cliff?
No. You that's really Briv is
Probably
pulling you in, so you can get to the side of the cliff.
Okay,
you can take
then
another action if you want.
I will use just a move to run towards her. How far is she?
Who are you running towards?
Never.
Oh, it's all the way up the cliff. So it's going to be like a crisscross up the cliff to get to her.
Oh, okay. I can cast Spider Climb.
Oh, okay. Then you can just. I mean, you already had spider climb. Well, that's true. Yeah, you took a long rest. So yeah, you can start climbing directly at her right now.
Okay, then I do so.
Okay. All right. What is Briv? What are you doing?
So she's
Penelope is
roughly 60 feet up.
Yeah.
And I see that Keen and Alyndra are headed there, but not there yet.
Correct.
Oh, Alyndra and Orkira should be there. We should be within 15 feet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, Alyndra and Orkira are there, but they haven't done anything yet.
Correct.
All right. So I am going to attempt.
Wait, am I not ahead of Briv in the order?
Orkira went. Keen, Penelope, Briv. No, we're not on you
Briv's
yet.
last in the order.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going to simply try to light her up then. I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt
Okay.
at evil Penelope, mustachioed Penelope. And that is a critical hit with Guiding Bolt. Critical hit. So I roll it. Wow, I don't know if I've ever crit with a spell before. This is like the first time, I think, in 5th edition that I've ever rolled double damage on a spell. All right, so I'm going to do that.
Welcome. Guiding Bolt is fun.
Yeah, Guiding Bolt is lovely. And then bonus action, spiritual weapon.
That's my jam.
Okay,
Yeah,
so that is, what is 16 plus 16? 32?
36.
Huh?
32.
32.
32.
32 points of damage. And also, because I have just performed a mighty deed by getting a critical hit, I am going to also I am going to grant, let's see, within 30 feet. So the only people within 30 feet of me right now would be Penelope. Is that correct?
Okay. That's correct.
So I'm going to give Penelope 7 temporary hit points.
Hey, thank you.
Bolster thine resolve, Penelope. That's all for me.
Okay.
I'm moving away from the cliff edge with my move.
And the next
All right.
person who attacks evil Penelope gets advantage, right?
That's correct.
Guiding Bolt is fun.
That's cool.
I enjoyed it.
The Penelope with the black eyes points directly at Orkira as Orkira is flying up, and you hear the whispering of a spell. I need you to make a charisma save, Orkira.
Okay. 15.
Okay. So what Penelope, what is your spell DC?
Oh boy. 14.
Okay. You succeed. You're
Okay.
safe.
I didn't know if hers was worse. Okay.
And that is evil Penelope's action. So, okay. Up next is Orkira.
What about Alyndra?
Alyndra is after Orkira.
Oh, okay.
All right. I set
I've got
Alyndra
it written
down.
down.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. It's not changed.
I set Alyndra down. I look at evil Penelope. Why?
The ultimate question.
Because you want to hurt us.
No, I don't.
Yes. You do.
Don't tell me what I want and don't want. I know what I want.
That's why you're here.
All right. How do I tell that this Penelope has been taken over by a mind flayer? How do I tell that this
Good
is
question.
the Elder Brain instead of... It's like... Is there anything that I can do to figure out if this is the Elder Brain or if this is Neverember?
She's just a little purple around the gills.
I mean, we started it, and then...
It depends on how you feel about the matter, but there is nothing that you can do to prove or disprove it.
All right, then I'm going to charge at her and touch her, and I'm going to cast Protection from Evil and Good.
Okay, what does that do?
Until the spell ends when willing... Well, it's a willing creature. Shoot. I guess...
She might be willing.
I don't... That's true. She might be willing
Make
if,
a hell of a persuasion. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't... I mean, so what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to... it's protected against certain types of creatures, but specifically I was going for aberrations. They have disadvantage on attack rolls. The target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. So if...
Right.
I think if Orkira has this moment where she's like, oh, this is the Elder Brain, that's what she'd be trying to do. But I don't know if then one willing creature is Neverember a willing creature?
Not technically willing.
All right. But that's what she's gonna try to do. She'll try to cast it and see if something happens.
That doesn't take. Alyndra, you are up.
I land. I take out of my bag the thing for which I was searching for, which is a small acorn. I hold it
Okay.
up to evil Penelope, and I cast banishment.
No.
In
Ah,
1
that's a
minute,
tricky-
it will be reverted permanently to its plane of origin.
What's its plane of origin?
That's what we're going to find out. If it belongs in Penelope, it'll be back in Penelope. If it belongs
Penelope
elsewhere,
is not a plane of existence,
Well,
though.
Bitch, I'll be
Just falling off the cliff, she almost was.
Oh.
Ugh.
You might be right about Avernus, though.
The thinking is, if it's from Avernus, it's going to go back to Avernus. If it belongs in the Shadowfell, it'll stay here. If it belongs...
Unfortunately, nothing happens. It stays.
So it must be.
Well, if it belongs in the Shadowfell and you banish it, and you
belongs in the
succeed,
It still goes
Shadowfell.
away.
It's
It still goes away for a minute, but it just
Yeah.
reappears.
Yeah, it goes. It just the evil version of Penelope disappears momentarily. Just dissipates.
No. No.
Oh.
What did you do?
I yelled,
happened?
what happened? Where is she?
She's been banished. I don't know if it's temporary or if it's permanent, but she is.
I see. She will return, no? I draw a circle where she
Potentially.
vanished her from. Gather round. I get my glaive and I
Briv
get ready
begins
to
to
bash.
ascend the walkway.
Penelope
Yeah.
tries
Is
to
it
finish
in?
climbing this cliff. She's gonna land right. She wants to get right into the middle of that circle.
Penelope, that I don't know. I don't know, but I think that thing might be either working with or taken over by the Elder Brain.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's part of me, so it can't be all bad, right? It's my fault that it's here, so I have to fix it. I have to
Penelope,
make it
do you
better.
remember what the roll does? Do you remember what it does?
What?
It either splits something into two, or it heals something to make it whole. You are whole. That thing did not belong in you.
Doesn't mean it deserves to be hurt or die just because it was.
It's not.
was born.
It's in a bubble right now. It's away from here.
You guys are trying to kill her.
It's not being hurt.
I mean, in fairness, she did attack us. We're
She
not
attacked
trying
you
to.
He
first.
tried to kill thee, Penelope.
Please back away from the circle before she returns.
Briv, does not everyone deserve a benefit of the doubt?
And
I
let us ask her
certainly
properly.
agree with thee, except when it is the essence of evil being removed from a friend that I have known for some time. I believe that that is probably an exception.
Well, do we want to try to subdue her when she comes back?
Yeah, you've got about a minute.
Penelope, what do you want?
I want to talk to her. Please.
So subdue it is. How are we to do this?
Step back.
I will charm her. I will attempt to charm her.
What is the most
can do it.
dangerous thing you can turn into?
Dangerous thing.
Yes, be quick.
A dire wolf? A bear? I don't know.
Yeah, a few seconds left.
Be
I'm not
prepared
changing
for that,
anything.
and if she turns into that, I will kill it until she cannot change anymore. We will talk to her if we can, but if we cannot, be prepared to finish it.
She pops into existence.
Try to
Wham!
grapple her. Charm person.
You-
What was your wham for?
I just hit something.
And I have foreseen this moment.
okay.
So, no, you know what? I have to let her do this on her own. I have not. This is her choice.
Okay, well, what is Penelope Halfling doing right now?
Charming person.
Okay.
That way,
What's the save on that?
the save is wisdom 14.
Oof. No. She is charmed.
Then she's charmed.
Yeah.
Then I just say to
She
my
just-
friends,
If you hurt her, then she's no longer charmed. So no
I
hurting her.
stuck my
okay?
blade an inch away from her hamstring.
Never remember.
Since she has
Ask
reappeared,
thine
I can-
friend to
Penelope.
take these manacles as restraint.
No.
Penelope,
No.
she is a native of this plane of existence. That's why she's
She's a
reappeared.
native of me. That doesn't make any sense. Never remember. What are you
And
doing
are you
here?
from
Why?
here, Penelope?
No.
The way the magic works, you return to the place where you came from. The place where you were born.
I don't know what that means. All I know is that Never Ember needs our help.
It's the forest from where she came, Penelope. This is the forest she came from. This is her home forest. If it's not yours, you are not the same.
Penelope, I shall ask again that thine new friend wear these stylish manacles while thou art talking to her.
How long does
I
charm
shall allow
person
thee to put them on
last?
her wrists, or I shall put them on myself.
Hour, I think.
it lasts
Okay,
for 1
this
hour.
is very strange. All right.
Never Ember, what are you doing?
I am trying to kill you
Why? Why?
because you are trying to kill us.
No,
See?
that's not you, Never Ember talking. Where are the other mind flayers that you were in the apparatus with? Where are they?
I am not Neverember.
That's what I was
Orkira.
afraid of. Yeah.
Help.
I was in her.
Yeah.
Now I'm very conflicted.
Canst thou be conflicted with the manacles on the evil creature's wrist? Please.
I'm not gonna stop you now. That's
Hmm.
whatever.
Briv, we've got a moment or two.
Until a wasp stings her.
I like all of you very much. Mostly her.
Why don't you tell us about the defenses around the Elder?
It's not a zone of truth.
Yeah.
It's
I can make it
with
friendly.
friendly acquaintances. So, thoughts?
Yeah, that's true. But we're not, so
It just said it liked us all very much. So I figured I'd give it a try.
It's only charmed technically by Penelope Half-Pint right now,
Fair enough.
but
Alyndra
Penelope.
tried to give it a crack. But
Penelope, I think you need to try to find out, did the elder brain just do to her what it did to me, or is there an intellect devourer in her head? Because not that I really know what to do about either of those things, but those are two different things.
well, look, if an intellect devourer had been in her head, wouldn't that have remained behind whenever Ember was banished?
I don't know. Those were different
Unless-
places that I don't know.
Unless
mean-
they've already become fused.
That's what happened to you, right? Was you popped away and it stayed?
Well, that was the apparatus, though. You're talking about the banishment that
No,
just
I'm
happened
talking
right
about
now.
when you ported to another dimension, that's what happened, right?
Oh, you mean the bag?
Yeah.
Uh,
It stayed and
yeah.
disappeared. So then-
yes.
By extension, when Neverember was banished, then the creature should have remained. Since I
Unless
didn't banish
it's-
the creature, I banished Neverember. Unless
not
they're fused.
necessarily. If Orkira had finished her process with the intellect devourer, Orkira would be dead, and Lauren would not be playing her. Yeah.
If there's just a brain on legs in her head and Neverember is dead, then you banished the brain on legs, and if this is where it's from, that's where it came back. I'm sorry, Penelope.
She did not deserve that.
No one
But
does.
alas, then fine. Whatever you are, tell me why I should save you.
Do you want to save me?
I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
That thing can save me. I think.
What thing?
You have a thing.
Pointing at the rod.
Yes.
It hasn't seen that since after
Yeah,
knows
but
you
if
have
this
a
is
rod.
apparatus.
if this is the same one that's connected to the elder brain that was in my head, it knows we have it.
So, are we friends now? Can I go?
I cast Blight upon you.
Ooh. Oh,
Well-
that was a turn.
Okay, what does Blight do? And tell me what to save for.
Okay. I can't cast it before I pulled it up. I prepared it, but okay. Okay. You will need to make a Constitution saving throw.
That one I have foreseen you will fail.
It's
an 8.
It's a 22.
Penelope has made her choice.
Oh my god. Okay. Beautiful.
Dear.
Yeah, necromantic energy washes over the creature, and they start to drain. The moisture from their skin begins to drain all the vitality from it. The target makes a Constitution save throw. I make 8d8
Go and roll them.
damage. Oh my gosh, do I
88.
have 8d8. 1, 2, 3. Do I have enough? Okay, yeah, got 4. Okay. All right. 4, 10, 16, 18. That's the first 4. Ooh. 16 plus 8. 16 plus 8 is 24.
Yeah.
26. 31. 31 plus 7 is 38 points of damage.
Wow. You all see what looks like evil Penelope half-pint. Her black eyes and somewhat charmed face just see all of the moisture drain out of her until she slowly becomes a withered husk, and cheekbones poke out and teeth and gums elongate, and hair begins to even fall out and becomes a withered husk in front of you and falls and crumples to the ground.
I turn to Keen. That is why I couldn't promise.
I hate the
Briv
shadow.
looks at his manacles and then just puts them back in his pack and starts walking down the cliff.
Is she dead? And do I see the brain on legs? Brain on legs.
The body is dead, and the brain on legs is actually about 20 feet away, running at this moment.
I could guiding bolt it.
Okay, go and roll. Be an armor class of 12.
I'll throw a mind spike on it too if I can.
Sure. Okay. It's an 18, so I hit.
Okay. So it hits.
Yeah, I'm not even. I see it and I immediately just hit it. 46. 10, 14. So it's going to be 14 radiant damage, and the next attack against it gets advantage.
Okay, it takes 14
There it
points of
is.
damage.
There it is. There it is.
Whoever wants to go first may go ahead and go first.
I was
it's
not
been
aware or waiting
damaged.
for it,
Okay.
but I will take advantage and start to run after it. Somebody may use range before I get to it.
I point at it, and a bell rings out. I cast Toll the Dead.
Okay, that will hit first. Cool. And
So
what's the
it's a
save?
wisdom 15.
And it's a fail.
13 damage.
Okay. It dies. The brain screeches, and you just see blood vessels pop and explode all over the brain, and it just kind of crumples to the ground.
I stab it several times because that's gross.
I'm sorry, Penelope.
Well, perhaps there's a little bit of Never Ember still left in me. Especially after watching my own body die like that. By my own hand. Maybe I'm not the light I thought I was. No,
The
I'm
important
sorry.
thing-
I'm sorry. It's good. I did it.
It's okay if you're upset. That was upsetting.
We need to get to that castle and get out of Shadowfell.
I believe we can all agree to that, Penelope.
All right, does everyone start heading for the castle?
I check this body when they walk away. Did it carry anything?
Yeah. Several, well, whatever Penelope Halfling it was carrying.
I gather
Exact
those
copies of it.
things.
Okay.
As weird as that is, I gather those things and take them to Penelope in a neat pack. She can decide what to do with them.
Okay.
Or we can bury them as she wishes. These are yours.
They are never
Ow.
embers, but I will take them. Thank you.
All right. What are the heroes of the Vale doing now?
Heading towards the castle, yeah?
Okay. You continue your long journey down the canyon and you actually get to the large mind flayer structure. It is alien and strange, filled with curving tunnels and a myriad of colors, almost like seashell as you approach. And you can tell it's completely been abandoned. There's just nothing but sand and dirt and gravel. When you go inside, it's very unsettling. The architecture is so alien and upsetting. As you move through,
Before we get too far, I would have stopped
okay.
us. Yeah. So we get a
Before-
little bit inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's here, but the reason we came here is to try to use this as a anchor point to get to the ship on our plane. Before we start wandering around, do we know how we're going to get back? Do we know how we're going to get to our plane? Okay, when we figure that out, if we can have a few minutes before we do that, because I think we're going to end up in a ship full of mind flayers and an elder brain, and we probably want to be prepared. So once we figure that out, someone let me know.
'Tis
Give me
our
a minute.
destiny to end this threat, so I'm sure something shall work out. And all along the way, dost thou know exactly where this elder brain is contained?
How exact are my...
super exact.
Okay.
Yeah. This place feels like, well, once felt like an old home to you, but you still have vague memories.
So this place feels like the ship from the visions.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm a little creeped out, but hey, you want to go see an elder brain here in the Shadowfell? That sounds like a horrible, horrible idea, but I can take you there. Yeah, I see
Why don't
everyone's
you
really
just
excited.
describe-
I fear no
You just-
shadow.
If you just describe it. If she describes it, can I just use clairvoyance to see it and see what it looks like and know for sure?
Does that go across planes of existence?
Well, no, I would know what it is in this realm, and then in the next place, I would know the location, so I could, in theory, use clairvoyance to a known location in the material plane, which would
Yeah.
be a known place for me. So
What are
it
the
would be
limits
using
of clairvoyance? Do you have to know the location? As
it.
just can you know it by
Clairvoyance is So you create an invisible sensor within range in a location, excuse me, familiar to you. Place you have visited or seen before, or in an obvious location that is unfamiliar to you, such as behind a door, around a corner, or a grove of trees. Remains in place for the duration, can't be attacked or otherwise interacted with. When you cast, you choose seeing or hearing. You can use the chosen sense, and as an action, you can switch between seeing and hearing.
I'll allow it. You can use clairvoyance to see it inside of the structure in the Shadowfell.
Okay.
To see where the where its lair is.
Okay.
Give
when you
really
do-
detailed description of where you need to place the sensor. Just
And doing my best, I will do so.
You see into that location and there is nothing there. But you were looking into the
take a
Shadowfell.
moment to switch my action to hearing.
You don't hear any noises in the room. Except for apparently a very fast
And
car.
I realize what I'm dealing with, and yep.
well,
To play tricks with your mind. I'm trying to use
Yeah.
mine.
Wilt thou share with the group, Lady Sarrbarand?
They communicate telepathically, yes? They think in a different way than we do. The way this works, my guess is they can protect against it. Or possibly even change what I'm seeing.
So thou didst see nothing.
I saw
Perhaps they
nothing.
just do not exist here in the Shadowfell. The ocean doesn't exist after all.
It's
Keen,
possible.
you do know that you all entered the Shadowfell using the crystal rod.
Is that the way that we can return if we must?
Yes, you can. You can use it. It can take you both ways.
I let the others know this.
oh,
So we can go home now.
As I said, 'tis destiny.
We had the way all along. Click your heels
it was
together.
friendship. Our friend was just in another plane of existence for a while.
Do
So
we have nothing left to do in this place?
We have to be prepared. No. We need to be
But
prepared for what will
We
come
can
when
be
go
precise,
over.
however, if we can continue along this path in this plane to get closer to the source that we seek to destroy. Does it not stand to reason that we could perhaps not have to deal with as much of the evil creatures when we go back into our normal plane?
it's worth a try, right?
The head of the snake, if you will.
If we were to return now, would we not be at the bottom of an ocean?
We would.
Well,
We
we're
hope to
inside-
be inside a
Which-
ship.
Let's just
They
go
have-
ahead
they
and
must
get
breathe.
some water breathing on regardless. Because for funsies.
Okay.
Or
Tis my
blood
You cast
understanding,
breathing,
water
Lady
breathing on everyone.
Sarrbarand,
Can
do
we
the
make that
mind
just a
flayers have
daily
to breathe?
automatically first thing in the morning, along with brushing my teeth? I cast water breathing on everyone. That's because it's a
Thank you.
ritual. We've had enough appearances in various fluids.
The more we can be in the center of where the ship is, the better. Not just because I don't want to appear at the bottom of an ocean, but there was a lot of other stuff around the ship. So Briv's right. The closer we can try to be to where we need to go, I think the better. I don't
But,
think
Orkira,
we.
Something
if we
is
show up
Well,
on
they're-
that side, is there going to be people, creatures?
Yeah.
There will be dozens, if not hundreds, of mind flayers, correct?
Yeah.
What's our plan when we get there?
Panic. No, I'm sorry, I said that out loud. I was hoping we could get close enough to the Elder Brain and destroy it before we had to deal with everything else,
Cut the head off the snake.
like he said.
Be
Have we no
prepared.
way of appearing to be like they, so that we don't appear as enemies as soon as we show up?
If we wait another day,
But if we
Then-
discover that there are no villains here in this abode, if we tactically strike by returning to the material plane, destroying the Elder Brain, and then returning to the Shadowfell and walk out of this place, this seems like a reasonably safe plan.
How long did it take Keen to transport us? Was it an action, a minute, 10 minutes?
It's like an action.
Okay.
Orkira,
Yeah.
how sure are you that this is the location and it's not a trap, that it's not a false memory that's been planted?
I'm really sure it's what I saw. I don't know if I can tell you if it's a trap or not. I mean, we had that discussion. I feel like this is the second time I've seen that, and both times were when it was getting pulled out of my head. So, do we have any other choice?
And Keen, your court, which so hates the Shadowfell, cannot lend aid?
Lend aid to what? They have their own problems in their own land. There are entire worlds that have to deal with what they wish to deal with. The Shadowfell is a place that does not exist to them until they must face it. There's no reason for them to come here.
Todd, how sure am I of what I've seen?
You're
guess now's the
100%
time.
sure what you've seen.
Okay.
Do I have... I don't. I don't want to do this.
No, neither do I, but I can't think of anything else.
It's the
And
best
this-
that we
If
have.
I were to reach into Orkira's brain, do I think I could parse out whether this was a real memory or not?
No, I don't think you would be able to, no.
Okay.
Nice try, though. That would be good.
I want to check on my egg.
What's everyone doing?
if we're gonna do this, then I can cast Death Ward on 2 people who wants it.
I do not
The ones
need it.
closest to the battle should have it. The ones who will take
I
the
want-
brunt of the damage.
I
think
will
our
take the
healer should
brunt
have it.
of the damage, but I shall not need it. I do not die here. My destiny is not to die here.
Keen?
Yes,
All
I
right,
do not
Death
want
Ward
to
on,
die here.
Death Ward on Keen. And then I'll
Okay.
look at Alyndra and
I-
Penelope.
Don't. I think this is. There's something about this that really bothers me.
What is it?
There's a bunch
What
of-
is it, Alyndra?
The thing that it wants more than anything is for us to bring it the rod, and yet somehow the rod is the only way for us to get there.
Does it want the rod or does it want the whole apparatus?
I thought it was the apparatus as well.
I needed the rod to make it work.
Yeah.
So perhaps we leave the rod where it is.
But
I
then how
find
do we...
often that if I just think and pray to the gods, solutions present themselves. Perhaps we will end up in the material plane again through their intervention.
Your gods actually give you answers? Mine just makes me feel better sometimes.
I thought he was the god of himself or something.
I didn't
So
deny
he
the
gives
existence of other gods. I simply said that I shall join them one day.
The problem is we need the rod to get to where we need to go. Unless we have some other way of getting there, and then, yeah, we'll just leave the rod here.
Are
You
mind
should know
flayers
where-
not extra-dimensional creatures? Don't they travel the planes? Perhaps they have a mechanism to travel those planes if we explore further here.
What about Keen?
Cain sometimes thinks really hard, or one of his gods has to travel to the City of Angels or all these other places, and he just disappears. So perhaps he can...
Yeah, shed light on that.
I am
Keen,
summoned
Keen.
by the Eternal Court. It is not my will. I do the court's will.
Hmm.
It's all in the mind's eye.
If we could just capture the performance.
Oh my god.
All right. What is everyone doing?
Oh, we're working on it. We're working on it.
Yeah.
So
To a
let us outline
Thin veil
the
of bad humor.
let us outline the plan as it stands. We are going to the exact same point where we are standing now in our original place. Is that correct?
I
No, I
believe
wanted
we
to
should
get
move
closer.
closer to the center.
We will move closer
Then-
to the center, then
What
change
happens if you
planes.
appear directly in an elder brain?
It's a good question.
A good sacrifice.
That's-
It might work though.
That's a really disgusting thought I hadn't thought of, and now
I volunteer.
No worse
I
than
don't know if we get a chance. To,
I'm not against this plan.
I
I
don't know if we have a.
Trust me,
Sounds like
I
give us a
am a
chance.
large and potentially sharp object.
No, I trust all of you. The thing is, I'm not sure if any of us have a choice in the matter. We're gonna show up where we show up, and what's there is what's there. And
Thou
and
wilt
now I'm
tell
thinking about
me
brains.
where thou thinkest it is, and I shall stand in the epicenter.
All right, and I
Let's do
will
it.
start to lead everybody to where the chamber is that we need to go to.
We're doing this. I love it.
Okay, you lead everyone to the chamber that you think you need to go to.
If I'm using the map in my head of the ship in the plane that we're going to, where's the elder brain?
It's in a very large domed room that in your memory was filled with liquid and brine. Here there's just sand.
Is the whole chamber filled with liquid and brine, or is there like platforms or
It's several feet deep. No, it's brine. It's liquid, a pinkish liquid everywhere.
so it was here
A
and
couple of feet deep.
couple feet deep, and there was this weird pinkish liquid stuff. I'm never eating pickles again. But it was right over there, and this is the room that it's in.
Penelope.
Hmm.
Penelope, can you make the liquid disappear?
If it is water.
Most liquid has to be in part water, correct?
Yes.
In some
I
way?
suppose so.
Unless it's an oil.
I could definitely try. It might help.
So just to understand, the room where this happens is currently flooded with brine.
Yeah, about like 2 feet deep. So it is
Oh.
not. You won't be up. Yeah, you're just gonna be up to your legs, and or waste if you're Penelope in liquid.
I'm just sloshing in. Does it
wait.
appear to harm
No, that's
us?
in the other realm. Like this is Lauren's description of the other realm. Right now, you're in a room filled with sand.
My
Kira,
description was
where
just
shall I
so
stand?
vivid.
Likely
Yeah.
has some sort of electrolytes in it, which are a salt, which means if we use some sort of electricity, it might fry the entire room.
Yeah, but we're
And
in it.
us too, if we are standing in the brine.
And maybe only one of us goes.
I volunteer.
Can you shoot lightning?
I thought I was striking literally at the brain of the elder brain.
I don't know if only one of us wants to go, because whoever goes has to take the rod to go, and either it works or it doesn't. I'd rather everybody go just in case it doesn't work. We should probably stick together.
Is the rod easy to operate,
Yes.
or does it require arcana?
No, you just have to attune to it.
It's breaking, though.
This might be.
Every time
That's
you
true.
cast restoration and you use it, it cracks a little bit more. Or its form of restoration.
Where shall I stand, Orkira?
Well,
Wait.
I'm waiting.
Wait. Oh, my goodness.
What?
Do we have any of that? Is there any of that intellect devourer left anywhere?
It's
On the end
all the
of
way
my
back up
blade?
the canyon.
Do you
Right,
think
thinking.
that if we used that, it would restore the part to the whole?
Wait, what?
Instead of us going to it, we bring it to us.
You can make an Arcana check. That's not.
I know it's not how it normally works.
Yeah, it's not how it normally works.
It's a 28.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work.
Where shall I stand, Orkira? I believe I do not mind going alone on this journey. As I said, my destiny is greater than this, but I do welcome the aid of all of my friends and allies. So while I don't want to force thee to join me, I would appreciate the support.
No, I'm not letting anybody go by themselves. I'm going.
Very well. Where am I to
So-
stand?
In what I saw, it was here, but does the elder brain like swim around? Was it attached to anything? Do
Yeah,
I think
it swims around, so you're not gonna know. Yeah, it floats, it levitates constantly.
Yeah, Briv. So I mean, this is where I saw it, but it's a fishbowl and it's probably swimming, so I can't guarantee it's going to be right there.
All right, I get in the middle of the room and
Okay.
hope. And then I am just going to, so I start to call my armor, but kind of as the blue energy starts to kind of crackle, you see that the metal starts to emerge, but it's taking on a slightly different shape than before. And it's like a little spiky. Like it still kind of starts to cover my body, but it's just a little less flat than it typically is.
Okay.
I'm going to walk up to Alyndra, and I'm not even going to ask, but I'm going to cast Death Ward on her.
Okay.
And I only got 2 of these, and the rest of us are hardier or can heal ourselves or turn into other things. So here you go.
Yeah, good point. Penelope will wild shape into a dire wolf.
Is there anything else
Okay.
I want to do? Oh. How long does that last? If we have a concentration spell going and we switch this concentration,
Yeah, yeah. As long as you're not the one causing you to shift planes, you should be fine.
Do you want me to ready polymorph?
For the brain?
Uh-huh. I don't know.
I don't know either, but that amuses me so much that might work.
We must also think about the caretakers of this place. He will not be alone. This is the most important thing in their society, is it not?
Yeah.
Then we must have an eye for its guardians. This will be for naught if we can punch it once and then they all turn on us from the outside.
Do I
does
remember?
Thou thinkest that thou and Penelope can shift thine focus to the caretakers while we three focus on ending the brain?
Direct damage to the brain should be us, and the ones who can handle the mini use magic.
Do we expect many?
Would you not
expect
if
many?
it were your most important leader?
Did I remember seeing anything else in the room with the Elder Brain, or were they all doing other things?
You don't remember seeing anything else in the room with it.
There's nothing else in the room from when I looked, but it doesn't mean they won't show up.
Very well.
I can't help but feel
Sometimes, Alyndra,
that we're playing directly into its hands, whether it's the rod that it wants, whether it's the coin, whether it's something else.
sometimes the way out is through. Perhaps this is part of its plan. But perhaps it underestimates our power and might.
Okay,
I don't.
stupid
I should
question.
be as I am.
It hung out in my brain for a while. Let's assume it knows everything I know. What would we all do that would be completely different than what I would expect?
It does not know that I am empowered now by the divine. I can assure thee of that.
That's true. What else won't it expect?
No one expects the Inquisition.
Well, our chief weapon is surprise. Surprise and fear. Fear and...
And perhaps, Alyndra, it should not expect thee to be just a little reckless.
I was going to say, it won't expect this, and I take out the coin. And plan A for side A is I hand the rod off, and I polymorph myself into a T-Rex. So most violent form I can think of, where I'm going to just hack and slash and not be able to cast spells.
Okay.
Plan B is I go as myself.
Well, flip the coin.
Okay, let me see, do it when you're fine. Watch me not have a plan anyway.
Or roll a 1d4 and choose 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. If you
Okay,
have a coin.
evens are going to be heads,
Okay.
and that is going to be the polymorph plan. Odds
Okay.
are going to be go as myself. That is an even. So I hand off the rod to Penelope. I think she is
Okay.
I know you're in dire bear form, right? So
Yeah, but I'll hold it.
I think you're the least likely to be corruptible. I put it between your jaws, and I
Okay.
hold out.
All right, you turn to Tyrannosaurus Rex, and that is this here episode of Heroes of the Vale.
Not exactly what I meant by reckless.
We will see what happens next time, but there is one thing that happens before the adventurers leave the Shadowfell, and slowly a long shadow on the cliff edge with almost like bat wings. You see that there's a shadow that grows and grows, getting closer to the dead body of Penelope Neverember. And it's leaving burning hoof prints each place it steps. And a horned devil slowly reaches down and lays its hand on her head. Not yet. And revivifies her. We're not done. You want to be a hero, don't you? And that's it. That's our episode of Heroes of the Vale. Thanks everyone for watching. 2 hours of planning, and we'll see how that all goes next week. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for next time, next Wednesday.